Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Ectohead. So as the UAP disclosure movement tears itself apart with Lue Elizondo and UAP Gerb here, at the centre of the controversy, all kinds of other things are happening in ufology. One of the largest ones is the new tranche of videos, should I say that in relation to this? A drop was made of new footage of the skinny bob variety. And I'm kind of a bit lukewarm on it, if I'm being honest. It's interesting, but like the first drop, some of it seems convincing and other parts not so much. In both sets of videos, the first and the second, the accompanying dialogue that goes along with the clips doesn't seem to me to be at all authentic. The individual who put these films together seems to think that these words constitute spy talk or classified dialogue, the kind that we find in real secret documents. However, it's all a bit, dare I say, amateurish? Added to this, we know that the original Skinny Bob film clips have overlaid on top of them fake film grain to give them some sense of age and potentially credibility. However, what I do think the Skinny Bob footage has, the original Skinny Bob footage, is possibly the most realistic depiction of an alien grey we've ever seen. But I digress. So let's get on to the meat and potatoes of today's episode. Lue Elizondo and UAP Gerb. UAP Gerb is an independent civilian researcher who digs very deeply into what could be described as the official side of ufology, the various official government organisations and private contractors that go up to make the entirety of the UFO secret. Companies like Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, to name but a few, who make up the edifice of UFO secrecy. And of course, the related documentation over decades that has underpinned the various communications between government and these private contractors. And on the other hand, we've got Lue Elizondo, the person who, along with David Grush, effectively kicked off this new modern disclosure process. Whereas on the face of it, they're not entirely in each other's pockets, they have acted as a kind of double act. And the problem for someone like me is I really believe David Grush, but I don't really believe Lue Elizondo. Above my head here, you'll see a thumbnail of UAP Gerb in an interview with Ross Coulthard, where UAP Gerb set out his beliefs around the various elements of the legacy program. And he wasn't very kind to Lue Elizondo. Now, as I've said in a previous video, I have my issues with Lue Elizondo. I don't know what he's like as a man personally, but professionally, well, that's another topic entirely. There are all kinds of stories that surround what he did, and it's very possible that Lue Elizondo has done some very questionable things in the name of his country and his flag. Now, let me be clear here. Just because somebody fights for what we perceive to be the right side doesn't mean that the things they're doing are immediately absolved of any sin. Quite the opposite, in fact. Just because we rally around a certain flag, be it here in the UK, the Union Jack, or in the US, the Stars and Stripes, that doesn't mean you immediately get a pass if you massacre a bunch of people, kill a child, or contribute to the death of hundreds of thousands of people across the planet with an ill-advised vaccine program. Just getting a bit topical there for a moment. No. Wrong is wrong. Bad is bad. Right is right and good is good. And a Pledge of Allegiance or an American or British flag won't absolve you of those sins. So in this footage behind me, Lue Elizondo is moving to Washington because disclosure is a full-time job apparently. And that kind of synchronicity won't be lost on many people. A man for whom secret and dishonesty were part of his job description is moving to Washington. And some might say that's about the best place for him. And this statement, and I suggest you watch it, has convinced me more than anything else that Lue Elizondo has done so far, that he is still an intelligence asset, an active intelligence asset. There's an old saying in intelligence circles, once you're in, there's only one way out. And as Lue Elizondo is still alive and kicking, he must surely still be in. And there's the rub. That's the problem. For those of us who follow disclosure keenly, we hang on to every word. Every snippet of information might be important. It might mean something. And we hold it close to us. We remember it because who knows, at some point further down the line, it might actually mean something pertinent. And these state assets, these intelligence men, these men of secrets and deceit like Lue Elizondo and Richard Doty, know this. They know this very well. It forms a core of what they do. They seed information. They let that information percolate, and they can use it however they want further down the line. Should it become relevant and useful, they can move with it or move against it. And whereas I can't vouchsafe for UAP Gerb, he, on the face of it at least, seems to just be an interested party. The things Lue Elizondo says when he met UAP Gerb really left me a little bit angry, actually. Now, I don't doubt Lue Elizondo, up close and personal, might be an intimidating individual. His job is to know people, to get under their skins. And it's clear from this casual statement that he made, setting the record straight, you understand, that he was using all the tools in his arsenal in that small but significant moment to intimidate UAP Gerb. And in this statement, he's doing the same to the rest of us. He actually mentions Ross Coulthard in relation to the fact that he interviewed UAP Gerb and says, come on, man, like him and Ross Coulthard are best buddies. Like, what are you doing, Ross? Interviewing these idiots, these people who are disingenuous. Well, it takes one to know one. Eh, Lue? Whoever Lue Elizondo is working for, this statement made it clearer to me at least, and if I am wrong, I will apologise wholeheartedly. I'd gladly be wrong because I want this man to be an important part of disclosure. But I just can't come round to him. There's something which, as we move forward, leaves me less and less impressed by him. Less impressed by his sincerity. Less impressed by his brand of honesty. And he speaks constantly like an intelligence asset. Constantly making phrases and then using examples to back those phrases up. There's a point in this statement where Lue Elizondo, I think, says that UAP Gerb described the ATIP organisation as a cutout. A reference to the fact that ATIP is just a shop front. There's nothing behind it. But to all intents and purposes, to anybody looking in, it's all there. So what if Lue Elizondo and his sworn enemy, Sean Kirkpatrick, are actually two sides of the same coin? They're actually still working together. And the point of this interference in disclosure by Lue Elizondo, if indeed that is what it is to give the appearance of enemies fighting each other, when in actual fact, they're working together right now. It's not lost on me that it's very possible that Sean Kirkpatrick could be Lue Elizondos Boss. And in the best traditions of espionage and spycraft, what we're looking at playing out in front of us with Lue Elizondo at its centre, at least publicly, is all smoke and mirrors. Sleight of hand, obfuscation, and a good helping of misdirection. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe and share, it really would help the channel. And until next time, bye bye.